This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Dog Pound movie shows the anguish of a juvenile reformatory center where some severe events happen. The film illustrates how criminality, cops, courts, and correction centers are correlated. Dog Pound depicts 3 teenagers in a correctional center. The teenagers are serving sentences after their heinous acts are proved guilty by a juvenile court of law. The juvenile center in Montana shows a brutal and cruel life in prison. The situation in the reformatory center is no different from adult prisons. Davis, 16 years old, is found guilty of drug possession. He even had the intention to sell the drugs. Angel, 15 years old, is convicted of car theft and assault. Butch, 17 years old, has been sentenced to Enola Vale Correctional Center after he misbehaved in a different one. He had been beaten up by an officer at his previous juvenile facility. Goodyear, an office at the facility, pleads with the young to behave well in the correction facility so that they can earn an early release. The film shows that Goodyear is not able to govern well in prison. His supervision is not able to make viable differences in the lives of the inmates. The issue depicts poor governance that happens in the juvenile center and is not in line with the primary objectives of making sure that the lives of the minors are drastically changed. Goodyear has no significant role in the lives of the juveniles. He does not make a positive contribution towards the juvenile reformation. The director of the film shows that life in correctional centers is poor, and the correctional officers do nothing about it. In the Enola Vale Correctional Facility, drug abuse is rampant, with psychological violence and terror all over. Life at this correctional center is unbearable for the inmates. There is not much difference between the correctional facility and the adult prisons. Butch tries to protect his new comrades, but he is beaten up by the other inmates. Davis falls victim to rape and later commits suicide. Butch incites other prisoners, and they riot against Davis's death. During the commotion, Butch tries to escape from the facility, but the prison wardens notice him. He is mercilessly beaten up. The officers in the center use tear gases and rubber bullets to control the situation. The movie shows the dreadful life that is experienced by the juveniles in their correctional facility. The film is less concerned with the inmates who can sustain oppression in the facility. Dog Pound is both disturbing and not comfortable. Teenagers of that age should be confined in such detention facilities. The juvenile facility center should be a place of reform for teenagers. In the case Graham versus Florida, sentencing Angel and Davis is unconstitutional because none of them had committed homicide. Juveniles should not be slapped with life imprisonment. In the cases between Jackson versus Hobbs and Miller versus Alabama, the court held that compulsory imposing life sentences was unconstitutional. Thus, no life sentence should be made without parole in juvenile facilities. The facilities should act like camps, training schools, or ranches that are aimed at making reforms for teenagers. Life conditions at the centers should be entirely different from the ordinary prisons for the majors. Juvenile cases are more of psychological disorientation than criminal orientation, thus should be handled lightly. However, the public fear of minor cases of rape, gang crime, violence, and drug trafficking has made juvenile facilities harsher for young criminals. If you want to find more works like this essay on the movie Dog Pound by Kim Chapiron, head over to ivypanda.com. It has a collection of samples with thousands of submissions covering virtually all academic subjects.